Hey guys, my name's Zach Copeland. I'm 22 years old. I'm a realtor. I've done Airbnb. I've been in stocks. I've coached other realtors. But today I really want to talk about my personal Airbnb journey, how it was successful. I'm going to break down multiple videos, but this one is just the overall, how it started, what my thinking was, why it was successful, and just purely just the facts of this is what I did, this is how much money I received, and just leave it at that. So my Airbnb journey, so I was thinking about doing Airbnb for a long time. You know, I was researching all the good channels. Sean Rakadich is a great guy. He is a great guy to learn from. I don't personally agree with his method of rental arbitrage. I think it's far too risky for the average person that I know. It's just, I wouldn't recommend it. But everything else that he shares is top quality. I would go watch him, even though I'm trying to promote my own Airbnb stuff. He is fantastic. His is free. Don't sign up for his course, but follow his YouTube channel. It's great. But back to mine. So I thought about doing Airbnb. So I bought a house, not for Airbnb, but I bought it for myself and my fiance. At this time, my fiance was living in Canada. I'm currently in Richmond, Virginia. So she was living in Canada, and I was telling her, hey, I really want to Airbnb. And I, had the good fiance talk of, would you kind of be okay or allow me to spend this much money on buying another house, furnishing it, doing everything that you need to do, getting county ordinances and different certificates and whatnot to run an Airbnb. And she was like, yeah, well, it'd be pretty much our entire bank account to get that started and blah, blah, blah. And she's a teacher. She's fantastic. She fully trusts my entrepreneurial ways, but sometimes, it's scary. It's scary to think, hey, let's empty our bank account for a chance. And so I was like, okay, let me think about it. And I decided, you know what? My parents live in the area, and me and her are getting married in November, and this was early July. I was like, what if I put this house up for Airbnb with all of our stuff in it? I just leave our stuff in it. I make it look nice. I'm a real estate agent, so I love interior design. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make this house nice. And how about we do this? How about I move in with my parents? When you leave Canada, you also move in with my parents. I know it's a big thing to ask, but you move in with my parents. She moved in mid-August. So I was like, okay, mid-August, you move in with my parents. We stay from August to November with my parents, and then in November we take over our house again. And by then we'll have learned, is Airbnb successful? Did we do what needed to be done? Is it actually worth buying another home and investing in it and putting all this money into it? And so she said, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. That's the least risk. Even if at the very worst it completely fails, then I would have been paying mortgage anyway. The only negative to that would be that I lived with my parents again for another couple months, because I would have been paying for electricity and mortgage over there anyway. So we're like, okay, let's give it a go. So I'm not going to get into the details in this specific video on how I marketed it, how I showed it, how I did all that. This is just going to be purely a facts of my Airbnb journey from the start of thinking of doing Airbnb to taking over my house again. So all-in expenses on my house was about $1,900 a month. That included top quality Wi-Fi. That included the mortgage, that included the HOA, that included everything. It was about $1,900 a month. So on July 25th, I put it on Airbnb. On July 27th, we got our first booking. It was crazy. I'm not going to go into the cleaning fee and what I priced it at, my pricing strategy. Those are all going to be separate videos. This video would be 4 hours long, and I want to keep it short. And so we got a booking July 27th. Thought, this is fantastic. I'll be because my parents live 15 minutes away, I will be the cleaner between every single person. I'll go over there and clean it. We thought, okay, that's great. So July 27th came, I cleaned it. The people loved it. They gave me 5 stars. I left a little gift for them as well. I like to leave a gift. Again, my brain's going a million places. I like to leave a gift for every single person. I asked them why they were staying in the Airbnb, what they were doing in the area, and then I would get them a gift according to that. So, for example, someone was coming for a romantic getaway. I left them a bottle of rosé. Another person said she was visiting Virginia for the first time because they're going to be moving here because her husband just got a job. So, of course, as a realtor, I thought of two ways to capitalize on this. But I got her just a little custom glass that says, Virginia, and it had a little map of Virginia on it. Just little things like that. But I think it goes a long way to show that you care. But we started getting bookings. And then I looked at it and I said, hun, our August, we have 3 days available in all of August. I put it up July 25th. It was like August 4th, and we only had 3 days in August available. Now, of course, with that pricing strategy that I'm going to go into another video, those 3 days, you better believe I put down to close to nothing. I mean, barely making a profit on it because there were just 3 random days. So the odds that someone is going to be looking for that specific day is very rare. So I lowered the price so that it would show greater on Airbnb. But so $1,900 for each month, roughly, in cost. And our first month in August, I think we brought in around $39.50. So that's fantastic. That's paying off our mortgage. So we're just paying the mortgage on this place. Most people, when they look for a rental, they're like, okay, does it pay my mortgage and give me, most of the investors I have are looking between $150 and $500 a month in profit. And this was paying off the mortgage and profiting. I mean, $2,000. And then September rolled around and we had only 4 days available in September. October came around and so she actually ended up moving back in on October 17th. Today's the 21st. And so we cut the Airbnb a little short, but all the way, we had every single day in October booked up until the 16th, got it cleaned the 17th, and she moved in. Long story short, this was just my Airbnb experience. I'm 22 years old. I was able to buy a house, furnish it, praise God, put it up on Airbnb, market it correctly, and it worked out really well. So now our plan is every 3 to 6 to 7 years, depending on where mortgage rates are, where mortgage rates are, where our finances are, what we're looking to do in life. If a kid comes on the scene, that could change it. If we really need a vacation one year, that could change it. Little things like that, but that's life. Our goal is to buy a house every 3 to 7 years and turn it into an Airbnb if we can afford it. If we can't, just make it a rental until we can afford to change it into Airbnb, because we saw just how lucrative Airbnb is. Because then, think about it. In 20 years, you have, let's say, 5 houses all doing Airbnb. So this was a 2-bedroom, 2-bed house, and it was profiting about $2,000 a month consistently for those 3 months. So, I mean, you take that into account, 5 houses, and, my fiance, my wife doesn't have to work anymore. And then on top of that, we can get to a point where we're like, hey, we have, the housing market is up whatever percent. We could sell all of it and have this much money in our bank account to either reinvest or put into retirement, do something. So that's kind of the thought of it. I just wanted to make this video for a couple reasons. One, just to kind of get my Airbnb story out there, get a video started, because I've thought of like a million different perfect videos I could create. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to scrap all that. That's all going to be in separate videos. So like this if you want to see that. But that's all going to be in separate videos. For now, I'm just going to sit in front of a camera and just blabber about my first Airbnb experience. Now with that, we had some crazy ups and downs. We had people that were leaving 5-star reviews. Luckily, we only got 5-star reviews, but we had neighbors that were complaining and trying to get our Airbnb shut down, trying to get us kicked out of the neighborhood. We got a lot of stuff going on with it. So I'm definitely going to create more videos on that. But like I said, this is just my beginner Airbnb journey. At 22, I was able to start an Airbnb and it was successful. So now I'm looking to invest in it. If you're looking to invest and you are around the Richmond area, let's do it. I'm a real estate agent. I can help you with investing, and I've done the Airbnb journey. I was the manager and the cleaner for it. I know what to expect. I know what to do. So hit me up, Zach Copeland. You can hit my email at realtorzachcopeland@gmail.com. You can text me. You guys know where to find me. Love you so much. Keep doing great things. Thanks for listening to the story. If you are this far into it, I want you to type I love Airbnb into the comments, something like that, just so that I know that you're still watching. All right, love you guys. Keep doing great stuff. Bye.